previous lesson, we learned how to put bombs on target using CCRP mode. In this lesson, we'll learn how to do it using the Continuously Computed Release Point mode, or CCRP. Whereas CCRP mode required us to place the bombing reticle on the target at time of weapon release, CCRP mode will allow us to drop a bomb on target even when the target is no longer in view. As before, fly through all the gates ahead. Go ahead and enter air-to-ground mode by pressing 7. When in CCRP mode, the bomb release setting options are the same as we reviewed in CCIP mode. This includes both quantity and interval settings. Continue flying through the gates to reach the target. Directly ahead by the lake shore is the target, marked with red smoke. Fly to place the pipper in the center of the bombing reticle over the target and press and hold the weapon release trigger or spacebar. When designating for release of multiple bombs at once, it's best to aim slightly ahead of the target such that the stick of bombs straddle the target. As you hold down the weapon release trigger over the target, you'll notice a green diamond over the target. This marks it as a designation point for a CCRP release. As you approach the target, keep flying through the gates, but keep the pipper aligned with the vertical line at the top of the pitch and bank angle indicator in the center of the HUD. Continue holding down their weapon release trigger. Approaching the release point, the timed release indication on the left side of the HUD descends, and the release tone is heard shortly before the bombs are released. Nice job, you hit the target. I've added some additional targets marked with green smoke to practice on. You can continue to practice, or you can end the lesson now by pressing the escape key.
And I will continue to practice. That is about the best I've done. The CCRP is much more difficult than the CCIP. Your airmanship has to be much of a finer degree as far as holding a constant speed and a constant attitude from the time that you mark your target to the time that you release your bombs. If you're pulling negative or positive G's, it will either cause the bombs to either fall short or fall long. And of course, if you are banking one way or the other, it will cause the bombs to fall either to the left or to the right. So I'm going to egress the target area and then come back around and try another bombing run with the remaining munitions that I have been provided by Mr. Wagner in this training mission. So as I line up, I'm going to line up on the far target, center of my HUD, going in a clockwise direction from the red smoke marker being the 12 o'clock position. This would be about the number 2 from it. And increase my speed, which helps give me directional stability. Now that release that I just did was 2 MER multiple ejector racks of Fab 100s, or 8 Fab 100s. Well, not happy with it, but let's see what happens. And I really was very short on getting the target marked. Oh, that's pretty good. Closer than I thought it would have been. But I do not believe I destroyed any of the trucks. So I have one more multiple ejector rack of Fab 100s. So I will egress out and come back around on the next set of trucks. As I come rolling back in, and the green smoke has dissipated, so it makes it much more difficult for me to find my set of trucks. So I'm going to mark it a little bit. Right there, I believe. And that was the new zoom feature that we now have. Right. And that was well short. Way short. So this is much more difficult than the dive bombing, than the CCRP. So I'll try again for that set of trucks. And as I egress out, what I was showing you was a new zoom feature that was installed or implemented on the December 9th DCS World patch. So it's kind of handy, but I mean, you can get a close-up of your instruments, which is kind of weird. But it has a tendency to almost give me vertigo. So I really don't like it. I mean, it's nice and I appreciate it, but it's not something I just want to really use in a lot of frequency. It just doesn't do me well. I am rolling back in. And this is where, unfortunately, the zoom is really needed, because otherwise I couldn't even begin to find my next set of trucks. Well, I can now, but come up, dive down. Right here. So I marked it with my 500. And I'm too low. So and I believe I actually did hit 2 of them. And that's the best I've done with the Fab 500, a single Fab 500 yet. I do believe I took out or scrapped 2 of the scrap trucks. So my next set of trucks, you can see them, are right in the center of the brown field there. Again, the zoom feature is neat, but wow, it disorientates me. It'll take a little getting used to, I suppose, but with the low resolution that we have with these first generation consumer HMDs, it's really needed. And I know on the forums many people are really happy about it. So in this training video, you get to see the zoom function. And this latest video, this latest DCS World patch, dated December 9th, and also the latest Steam VR beta patch, I believe is dated the same date, December 9th, along with the latest NVIDIA GeForce drivers. I'm increased my pixel density to 1.5, and the newest implementation, also the DCS World, allows us to use the slider with the HTC Vive now. We can now change our pixel density with the slider instead of editing the Steam VR file. And if you don't reset your Steam VR file to 1.0, I found out quite by accident that when you use the slider, it's going to multiply whatever your Steam VR file is. In other words, if you still have your Steam VR file edited to 1.4 and you set the slider to 1.4, it's going to multiply 1.4 times 1.4 of resolution, which would give you an effective pixel density of, what would that be? 2.8? Really clear. I mean, it's really clear, but it's kind of not usable, so to speak. But it's amazing. It is amazing how clear it is. Okay, that's the brown target. I can see them out. I have one Fab 500 left. So I'll deploy this munition and come back around and see how many trucks I scrapped out on this mission. And I've done this several times over. This is pretty much the best run so far I've had. And as you see, I get to this point, I can see them from the distance, and then I get to a certain point and I cannot see them. That's where the zoom comes in. But it is really lock it right there. I can hold it. That's cool. Wow. Well, that was close. I could actually see the Fab 500. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's pretty cool to watch it go in. So let's go down and take a tally of how many trucks I destroyed. I don't think I did very many on this one around. Put the flaps down so I can fly a little slower. Well, I have 2 trucks destroyed. Out of that group. Yeah, they all evaded out of this group. I have 2 trucks destroyed out of this group. Total of 4, and that's going to be my count. Fairly much. So for part 2 of this mission, I am going to do a fly back to my home base, do a proper ILS landing, and do our proper park and shutdown. If you want to catch that in part 2, that's one of the things I just like to do, is I like to continue the missions on out and properly end the missions. So thank you for watching if you have, and give a like if you like the video.